My name is Bragi Gudbrandsson, and I am the former Director General of the Government Agency for Child Protection in Iceland. I am now in a state of transition. I've been there as a Director General for 25 years, and I stepped down earlier this year to stand for the election to the Committee on the Rights of the Child, and was elected and will be taking my position at the 1st of March next year. Corporal punishment is the most common form of violence against children all over the world. So for that reason only, ending corporal punishment should be a priority for all those who are concerned with the rights of the child. Corporal punishment represents a threat to the very core of the human rights of children, the child's dignity and integrity. It belittles the child. And thirdly, I should like to mention the harmful consequences of corporal punishment that has been demonstrated again and again in research, particularly during the more recent decade or so, where it has been demonstrated that the early adversive experiences may have an extremely negative effect and to the adulthood, and may even be life-threatening to the mental health of the child, of the individual. So there is really a myriad good reasons for addressing this issue, particularly when you bear in mind that parents, they are generally not aware of the negative or the harmful consequences of corporal punishment. They believe this practice is an efficient way to bring up children. Now, it may well be efficient in the short run, but in the long run, it really is ineffective, and it really is harmful. And I do believe that parents all over the world, if they knew about the seriousness of these practices to the well-being of the child into adulthood, they would surely change the practices in this way. I think the committee has, in fact, from the very onset, done a wonderful job with regard to to this issue, to fight corporal punishment against children. The first two general discussions day of the committee in 2000 and 2001 was addressed to the corporal punishment issue, both the home and in all settings. The general comments of the committee from 2006, the general comment number 8 and the general comment number 13 from 2011, both are great human rights documents, tools for governments and all those who are who stand for children and for children's rights to further their rights and campaign against the corporal punishment. But what is perhaps the most effective work of the committee is, of course, the monitoring, monitoring of the periodic reports that the state parties to the convention submit to the committee, as the committee has taken care of addressing this issue in the individual context of the different nations, and put forward very valuable comments on strategies and ways in which a legal ban on corporal punishment could be accomplished. And this is particularly important to bear in mind, because it's not enough to ensure that the corporal punishment is banned in the criminal law. We need to see that also in the sectoral law, with regard to the schools and the health service and the social services, etc. that this ban on corporal punishment should be reflected in all these sectoral law, and the law should be supportive to parents in terms of advancing alternative ways of bringing up children, and not punitive, but educational and therapeutic in nature. Well, the global initiative has a role which is quite comparable to that of the committee, in the sense that the global initiative does in fact monitor the situation in individual countries. And through that monitoring, it can greatly support the work of the Committee on the Rights of the Child. The global initiative also supports governments, empowers the governments to deal with the issue of corporal punishment. And that is also very valuable for the work of the Committee on the Rights of the Child. On the top of my mind is the importance of approaching this issue with the sort of interdisciplinary and multi-agency point of view and a child-friendly perspective. I feel it is very important that any intervention into this issue is done in a multi-agency and child-friendly manner. And I feel that the development among various European states in enhancing structures like Barnahus, which is a one-stop, child-friendly, multidisciplinary service, can really be effective in helping parents of vulnerable groups in society to deal with this important and the most important role in their lives, which is to bring up their children in the maximum favorable manner, so to speak.